There is a huge difference between just wearing your clothes and styling your clothes. Wearing is just throwing something on without much of a plan, which is fine. But styling is about how you wear those pieces and intentionally bring them all together to build an outfit. And there's no time of year where this distinction becomes more important than in summer, because we're often so limited to the amount of things we can wear due to the heat. We lose our layers, our jackets, our long length tops, things that are quite easy to look stylish in. So today I want to talk about your typical summer pieces, but how to style them in a non-typical way that actually looks good. And I am going to be obnoxiously specific in this video, so apologies in advance. Do keep in mind though, not only are these my personal opinion, but they're very specific to summer 2026. It could all change by this time next year. The button-up shirt is a summer staple, but don't just throw on the nearest one and hope to look good. Indeed, it may look that way when we look at these outfits, but there's stuff going on here which isn't immediately noticeable, but is playing a huge part in why these look so aesthetic. Firstly, if you're wearing your shirt untucked, which is fine for a casual look, then do try to stick to both a straighter cut and straight hem. By straight cut I mean the opening is going to be about as wide as the chest. This creates a naturally relaxed look, which is what you're going for. A lot of shirts that are designed to be tucked in go inwards at the waist, creating a weird curvy shape that becomes really apparent and looks terrible when untucked. Also, do pay attention to the length. Oversized baggy shirts can look nice untucked, but if they're way too long, it can start to look a bit silly, taking us back to that long line era. Go for a shorter length, crop it yourself, or just be really tall. It's as easy as that. Being summer though, you're probably going to want to wear your button-ups undone. And there's a few details to look out for here as well in my opinion. 1 or 2 buttons undone looks great, especially for a smart casual setting. But if you're thinking of venturing into 3, 4, 5 plus buttons undone, this is where things can get a bit sketchy. Male cleavage doesn't look great on 99% of guys. A better idea is to either go for the Ralph tuck, which is super popular at the moment. This is best if you want to wear a t-shirt underneath and want that smart casual look. Otherwise, go completely undone with the buttons and wear a tank top underneath. This is the perfect summer look and will give you that balance of style with the layers and coolness with how open it is. I also have some other small tidbits when styling a button up. Definitely do roll up the sleeves, just 1 or 2 will do. Not all the way up to the elbow though. This looks great on oversized shirts and you can still look sophisticated. People are also loving the shirt tied around the waist look at the moment as well. I'm not a massive fan, but it's a nice idea if you're getting too warm, and it works especially well with plaid shirts. T-shirts are of course going to be one of your staples for the summer months, so you need to make sure you get them right. And the first thing we should talk about with t-shirts is every man's favourite topic, length. You need to be wearing an appropriate length t-shirt in 2026. If it's covering your butt, it's too long. Unfortunately, a lot of mainstream brands are quite brainless and produce their t-shirts in extremely long lengths, which are only suitable for people who are 6'3" and above. But the solutions are simple. Either tuck your t-shirt in. Not only does this look sophisticated, but it also properly proportions your outfit up, giving you a clear line of separation between top and bottom, and it also just looks much more intentional. Second is to buy a shorter length tee, or simply crop it yourself, or get it tailored. The key here is to not go too far in the other direction and make your t-shirts too short, whereby your belly button and underwear is on show. A subtle crop is all that's needed. If you like to wear your trousers up around your waist, then have your t-shirt length around your hip area. That'll look ideal. When it comes to overall fit, slim is making a bit of a comeback. Slim looks good, especially when tucked in for that classier look. Super oversized is pretty much gone, but relaxed is still very viable. And a relaxed, slightly cropped tee that is untucked is a nice look. One small detail which I personally don't think looks great these days are rolled up t-shirt sleeves. I don't know why, but it just has a very 2014 look to it, so I would avoid. My final point on t-shirts is that you can and should look for vintage ones. Faded and slightly thrashed tees can look good in any outfit and add a lot of personality to your look, which is especially important in summer where most pieces are so basic. I think shorts are an area where a lot of us guys are guilty of being lazy. It's summer, it's hot, just chuck something on that's not going to make us sweaty, right? Well, no, there's so much more to it than that, so hear me out. The tailored look is very much in at the moment, and along with that comes a few key details you should pay attention to. Do make sure they're a relaxed fit, so not too tight around the crotch or thighs. A tight, form-fitting pair of shorts will look awful. Also, something a bit overlooked with shorts is the rise, which is basically how high up they sit on your waist. We associate it with trousers, but don't forget about it with shorts as well. Especially with tailored shorts, you want ones that have a higher rise and sit up around the natural waistline. It gives off a much better look and pairs well with the tucked in or shorter length t-shirts we talked about earlier. I think the length of your shorts is very important as well. Short shorts are still viable, especially if you have a sportier aesthetic. Also, turn-ups are very welcome in my opinion if you want to adjust the length to your liking. Longer shorts will also work. I'd aim for somewhere around the knee, but not much lower. The popularity of 3/4 lengths is rising at the moment, but I would honestly avoid. It has that very online-only trend feel to it. Also, you need to be pretty young and edgy to pull it off. Someone my age is going to have a hard time looking good in shorts like that. Now let's talk about trousers. A little less popular in summer, but still very wearable, especially in the evenings. The best overall style, shape and cut follows on from the shorts really. The tailored look is the way to go, and you want to avoid anything too tight. Tiny tee and big pants is the line. So something relaxed, flowy and high-waisted, paired with either a slim cut tee tucked in, or a relaxed, slightly cropped tee. Either one of these will look good at the minute. Length, as always, is going to be another big talking point here. Going super baggy and almost entirely covering your shoes isn't it, in my opinion. It's impractical and looks kind of performative, but a regular full break is still great, and probably the best look overall. It strikes that balance between smart and casual, giving you a lot of versatility in your overall outfit. If you don't like a full break then that's fine, but don't make the mistake of going too cropped either. Showing your ankles or socks is a very dated, early Pinterest type look. I would suggest if you're going for shorter length trousers, then make sure you're pairing them with some high tops like the Converse Chuck 70s or even some leather boots. Now you'll read and hear everywhere about the importance of accessories during summer, and I agree with it, because they can spice up some very basic summer outfits. But you've got to practice restraint, don't overdo it. More accessories does not equal more style, and do understand that the best, most colourful and most expensive accessories can't hide a bad outfit. So yeah, keep in mind a lot of the things we talked about earlier in this video. I already talked about sunglasses in my recent summer trends video, but to sum it up, tinted lenses are super popular at the moment, but don't go too crazy. A subtle orange or blue tint is fine. Pink, bright green or some sort of ombre rainbow reflective lens, definitely avoid. It gives off too much of a festival bro vibe. Caps are of course going to be super important in summer, but stray away from really long brims. They look comically bad. A slight curve also looks best in my opinion, whereas super flat straight brims are dated, and the extreme curve or even snapped brim is just not it. With jewellery, it's all about practicing that restraint we talked about. Loads of layered chains and handfuls of rings and bracelets are difficult to pull off, and also kind of impractical. A small, genuine gold or silver chain subtly poking out of your t-shirt is all you really need, and with rings, 1 or 2 is perfect. Natural stones always look good, but I'd stay away from those wooden ones or hybrid wooden rings. They just look a bit tacky. If you like wearing watches, then sticking to something a bit smaller and slimmer is your best bet. They just look classier and are way more versatile. When you have a fat, gaudy watch on your wrist, it takes all the attention away from the rest of your outfit, and they just give off a bit of a desperate vibe. So there's my very specific tips on how to not just wear your clothes this summer, but how to style them. If your summer outfits are always feeling flat, then I guarantee integrating 1 or 2 of these will make a huge difference. Let us know down in the comments if there's anything else you guys do which takes you from just wearing clothes to actually styling them with intention. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.